Hello, beautiful damsels. Sigma females are often seen as enigmas, unreadable, unpredictable, and untouchable. But beneath that cool, independent exterior lies a complexity that men can't help but be drawn to. There's something about her that's hard to pin down, a magnetic pull that keeps them intrigued without fully understanding why. She isn't loud or in your face, but she commands attention in ways that defy the usual expectations of femininity. This isn't about the typical traits people associate with women. It's deeper, more subtle, and frankly, far more captivating. It's not just her strength that attracts them. It's the blend of qualities she keeps hidden beneath the surface. These are the feminine qualities men secretly crave, but rarely talk about. The ones that make a Sigma female stand out in a world where most people are trying too hard to fit in. Now, damsels, let's dig in, shall we? At number 1, grounded elegance. There's a kind of magic in the way a Sigma female carries herself. She's the woman who doesn't need to be decked out in designer labels to turn heads, though she could easily pull that off too. Her elegance isn't about perfection, it's about presence. She could be wearing a simple outfit, maybe even her favorite old jeans, and yet there's this effortless grace that makes it look like she just walked off a runway. But here's the catch. She's not trying to impress anyone. That's what makes her so captivating. It's her groundedness that sets her apart from the typical idea of elegance. She doesn't float around acting like her feet have never touched the ground. No, she's real, firmly rooted in who she is, and that's what draws people in. When men see her, they're not just seeing a woman who looks put together. They're seeing someone who knows how to move through life with both class and ease. She doesn't need a flashy lifestyle or endless pampering to feel beautiful or complete. She's got a natural, almost understated way of carrying herself that speaks louder than any expensive outfit ever could. What makes it even more irresistible is that she doesn't make a fuss about it. She's not the type to spend hours stressing in front of the mirror, agonizing over every strand of hair. She'll throw on something she feels comfortable in, add her own subtle touch of style, and walk out the door without overthinking it. And somehow it works. Men see this balance, this combination of laid-back confidence and quiet grace, and they can't help but be intrigued. It's like she has the secret formula to looking effortlessly stunning without even trying, and that's the kind of woman who sticks in their mind long after she's left the room. This low-key elegance is what really hooks them. It's not about showy gestures or exaggerated effort. It's the way she's fully comfortable in her own skin, whether she's out on a casual day or dressed to the nines for a special event. Her sense of style and grace isn't forced, it just is. She doesn't chase attention, but it finds her anyway, because that mix of groundedness and elegance is rare. And men find themselves drawn to her, not because she's trying to fit anyone's mold, but because she's walking her own path, making her own rules. Number 2, independent softness. Sigma females are known for being fiercely independent, the type of woman who can handle just about anything life throws at her. She's the one who figures things out on her own, solves problems, and moves through life like she's got it all under control. And men love that about her until, out of nowhere, she shows a glimpse of softness. That's the part that really hooks them. It's in those rare moments when she lets her guard down, even for a split second, that men find themselves completely captivated. She's not someone who wears her emotions on her sleeve, so when she does allow herself to be a little vulnerable, it's like catching a brief glimpse of something precious. It could be as simple as the way her voice softens when she talks about something close to her heart, or the way she quietly admits that maybe she doesn't have all the answers. That fleeting moment of vulnerability, tucked beneath her usual strength, makes her even more alluring. But here's the kicker. She doesn't do it intentionally. It's not some ploy to make herself more attractive. It's just who she is, a mix of unshakable independence and these tiny flashes of tenderness that remind men she's human. And that balance, it's like a gravitational pull. They're drawn to her strength, but that little glimpse of softness makes them want to be the one she trusts enough to let down her walls just a bit more. It's that delicate dance between her fierce independence and her quiet moments of vulnerability that makes her irresistible. Men find themselves wanting to be close to her, not because she needs them to fix anything or sweep her off her feet, but because she's this beautifully complex mix of strong and soft. And when she allows someone to see that softer side, it's like they've been given access to a part of her that not many people get to see. That's when men realize they're hooked, not just on her strength, but on the fact that every now and then, she lets someone in. Number 3, uncompromising self-respect. A Sigma female walks into any room like she owns it, but not in a loud, look-at-me kind of way. It's more like she carries this natural sense of self-respect that speaks for itself. Men notice it before she even says a word. It's in her eyes, her posture, the way she doesn't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. She's got this quiet confidence that says, I know exactly who I am, and I don't need validation. That's what makes her so compelling. It's like she's untouchable. But not because she's trying to be. It's because she knows her value and refuses to settle for anything less. Men find themselves drawn to her because of this unshakable sense of self-worth. It's not arrogance. It's just a deep inner understanding that she's not going to lower her standards to make anyone feel comfortable. And the crazy thing? Men respect that, even crave it. There's something incredibly attractive about a woman who knows her own boundaries and sticks to them, no matter what. She's not going to play games or bend over backward just to keep someone around. If anything, men realize that they have to step up their game to be in her presence because she's not going to tolerate mediocrity. What really gets them is that she doesn't flaunt this self-respect in an obvious way. She's not out there giving speeches about how empowered she is or making a big deal out of her independence. It's just a natural part of who she is. She moves through life with this effortless grace, never chasing anyone's approval. Men find themselves wanting her attention not because she's giving it freely, but because it's rare and comes from someone who doesn't hand it out lightly. That scarcity makes it more valuable. And when she does show interest in someone, it's never out of desperation or because she needs someone to complete her. It's because she's chosen them, and that makes all the difference. Men find themselves working for her respect because they know she won't give it unless they've truly earned it. That's the kind of self-respect that makes her stand out. It's not just in her words, but in everything she does. And that quiet, confident energy pulls men in like nothing else can. Hey damsels, ready to join the Sigma squad? Hit subscribe to the Sigma Female Dynasty channel for your dose of fierce independence and insider insights. Let's redefine the rules together. Number 4, effortless wit. What makes a Sigma female so irresistible is her wit. She's not the loudest person in the room, but when she speaks, she hits you with a quick, clever remark that you never saw coming. It's not forced. It's just how her brain works. She doesn't try to be the comedian, but somehow, she's always the one with that perfect one-liner that leaves everyone in stitches. And men? They can't get enough of it. They love that she's smart enough to keep up with them and sharp enough to outwit them when they least expect it. Her humor isn't over the top, and that's the beauty of it. She's not throwing out jokes just to be noticed. No, she's the kind of woman who waits until the right moment, drops a sarcastic comment or a witty observation, and leaves everyone around her thinking it's her subtlety that makes it so attractive. Men aren't used to this kind of humor from someone who's not trying too hard. It's refreshing, and frankly, a little disarming. They're left wanting more because every conversation feels like there's this underlying challenge. Can they keep up with her? Can they match her wit? What's even better is that she doesn't take herself too seriously. She knows how to laugh at herself, and that self-awareness adds another layer to her appeal. Men love that she can be both intellectually stimulating and laid back enough to crack a joke at her own expense. It's this effortless balance between being smart and not taking life too seriously that gets them every time. She can challenge them with her intellect and charm them with her humor, making her the kind of woman they can never quite predict, and that unpredictability, it's a thrill they never want to lose. In a world where so many people try to impress with loud personalities or rehearsed humor, her natural wit stands out. It's the kind of humor that catches you off guard and stays with you long after she's gone. Men end up thinking about her little remarks, replaying them in their heads because they realize that she's not just funny. She's sharp, engaging, and the kind of woman who keeps them on their toes. And once a man gets a taste of that kind of wit, he's hooked. Number 5. Mystery laced with warmth. There's something about the mystery of a Sigma female that drives men absolutely wild. She's not an open book, and that's part of her allure. She doesn't spill her life story within the first 5 minutes of meeting someone. Instead, she holds back, leaving just enough unsaid to keep people guessing. But here's the twist. It's not a cold mystery, not the kind that keeps people at arm's length. Beneath her layers, there's warmth. And when a man gets even the smallest glimpse of it, he's hooked. She's like a puzzle, but not the frustrating kind that makes you want to give up. It's more like the kind you want to keep working on because every new piece you discover feels like a little victory. She's unpredictable, sure, but not in a way that leaves you wondering if she's playing games. She's just complex, and that complexity keeps men intrigued. They never quite know what she's thinking, but they're drawn in by the challenge of figuring her out. She'll let them in just enough to keep them coming back for more, but never so much that they feel like they have her completely figured out. And that warmth she shows in flashes, that's what really gets them. It's not something she gives away easily, but when she does, it's genuine. She's not one to pour her heart out all at once, but in those rare moments when she opens up, men feel like they've uncovered something special. It's like she's letting them into a part of her world that most people don't get to see. That combination of being hard to read but also having this hidden layer of warmth is irresistible. Men can't help but crave that deeper connection because they know it's not given lightly. They know that if she's letting them in, even just a little, it means something. It's not about playing hard to get, it's just who she is. She's guarded, yes, but not closed off. She's selective, but that only makes men want to be the one who earns her trust. And when they do, it feels like they've unlocked something rare, something most people will never get to experience. That mix of mystery and warmth is a combination that keeps them captivated and coming back for more. Number 6. Emotional independence. When a Sigma female speaks, she's not just talking for the sake of filling silence. Every word that comes out of her mouth carries weight because she values meaningful conversation over empty chatter. And this is what completely floors men. In a world filled with mindless small talk, her ability to go deep in conversation is like finding an oasis in the desert. She's not interested in discussing the weather or the latest gossip. She's diving into the big stuff, ideas, beliefs, the things that actually matter. Men find this magnetic because they're used to surface-level conversations. And here's this woman pulling them into a realm where they're actually thinking, where they're challenged to keep up with her. But it's not just about intellect. There's a certain warmth and curiosity to the way she engages with people. She's not talking to prove a point or to showcase how smart she is. No, she genuinely wants to connect, to understand what makes someone tick. That's what makes her different. She's present in the conversation, truly listening and absorbing what the other person is saying, and that kind of engagement is rare. Men are drawn to this because, let's face it, most people these days are too busy talking over each other to actually listen. But with her, they feel heard. It's refreshing, almost like a breath of fresh air. There's also something undeniably sexy about the way she can make a conversation feel like it's just the two of you in the world. She has this way of asking the right questions, of getting to the heart of a topic without it feeling forced. It's never an interrogation, it's more like an invitation to share a part of yourself that you didn't even realize was there. Men find themselves opening up in ways they didn't expect, and that's where the real connection happens. She's not afraid to tackle complex or uncomfortable topics, and that's what makes every conversation with her feel like it matters. The best part? She knows when to stop talking. She's not going to ramble on or dominate the conversation just to hear herself speak. She's comfortable with silence because, to her, silence is just another form of communication. Men find that balance between her depth and her calm so alluring, because it's rare to find someone who can both challenge and comfort you in a single conversation. She leaves them thinking, keeps them wanting more, and they can't help but be drawn back to that unique blend of intelligence and calm presence. Number 7. Subtle sensuality. A Sigma female isn't the kind to fall apart at the slightest inconvenience, and men find that incredibly captivating. She's got this inner resilience that makes her seem almost unshakable. Life throws curveballs, and while others might panic or crumble under the pressure, she's the one who keeps her cool. It's not that she doesn't feel the weight of challenges, she just doesn't let it break her. There's a quiet strength in her that men respect deeply. It's like she knows that no matter what happens, she's going to find a way through it. Maybe not with a smile, but definitely with determination. What makes this so attractive is that it's not about being tough for the sake of toughness. She's not putting on a show of being strong to prove anything to anyone. Her strength comes from a place of self-reliance and emotional maturity. She's the kind of woman who's been through enough to know she can handle just about anything life throws at her. And that's comforting to men because they know she won't fall apart when things get tough. She's not going to depend on them to solve all her problems, which is refreshing. In fact, she might even be the one offering solutions, and that level of independence is nothing short of magnetic. But don't get it twisted. Her strength isn't cold or robotic. There's a softness to it that makes her even more intriguing. She can be strong and tender at the same time. When life gets messy, she's not shutting down emotionally or putting up walls. She's still connected, still capable of being vulnerable when it counts. Men love that about her. She's resilient, but she's also human, and that balance is rare. It's not about being invincible, it's about being adaptable, being able to bend without breaking, and that's the kind of strength men crave. And let's be honest, there's something undeniably attractive about a woman who can face adversity without losing her composure. She's the type to have a bad day, but still find a way to laugh at it, maybe even throw in a sarcastic comment that lightens the mood. Men are drawn to that ability to keep things in perspective, to not let every little thing turn into a catastrophe. Her resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving, and men can't help but be pulled in by that. She's the kind of woman who makes you feel like, whatever happens, you'll be okay, because she always is. Number 8, unapologetic authenticity. A Sigma female doesn't just stroll through life on autopilot. When she chooses to get involved, whether it's in a relationship, a project, or a social cause, she's all in, but only on her terms. It's like watching someone play chess. Every move is strategic, every decision is calculated. She's not about doing things just because it's the norm or because someone else expects it. If she's in, she's fully committed, but she'll set her own rules for how things play out. Men are drawn to this level of involvement because it's so refreshingly different from the usual approach. She doesn't do things halfway or without purpose. If she's joining a cause or a relationship, you can bet she's got a plan, a vision, or at the very least a serious commitment to see things through. This intense dedication is magnetic because it's not something you see every day. It's not just about throwing herself into something. It's about her way of making sure that whatever she does is meaningful and worthwhile. What's particularly intriguing is that she won't sacrifice her principles or her personal boundaries just to fit in. If she's passionate about something, she'll dive in with everything she's got, but she'll do it in a way that's true to herself. She doesn't need the spotlight or the validation from others. She's motivated by her own standards and goals, and that's what makes her dedication so captivating. There's no pretense, no trying to impress anyone. It's all about her personal drive and her commitment to what she believes in. Men see this kind of dedication and are often in awe. It's not just about the fact that she's deeply involved. It's how she maintains her sense of self while doing it. She can be fiercely committed to a cause or a relationship, yet still manage to be independent and true to who she is. It's like she's a master of balancing her passions with her personal space. And when a man sees this, he realizes that he's dealing with someone who doesn't just go through the motions. She's engaged in life with purpose. And that's a rare quality that makes her both fascinating and irresistible. Thanks, damsels, for tuning in. See you in the next vid. Bye and stay blessed.